Welcome to West Ham Updates TV. We were formerly known as Mr. Moon, and we have finally changed our name, other than no reason other than it's better for the algorithm. So, fellas, nice to see you. How are we all?
All good, mate.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
It's nice to all be back together again.
Yep.
A little week off. Gary, congratulations, commiserations on getting married.
Yes.
Congrats, Gal.
Our ball and chain is official.
I'm officially a married man. I don't know if you've seen the photos, but I reckon she's had a right touch there. I mean,
We've seen the jar. We've seen the jar, though. Don't worry about that. Jar with your...
Oh, poor Cal. If she's watching, very, very, very sorry for you, love.
That was great. We had a great day. We had lovely weather over the weekend, and then I went to buy some Ghana furniture today, and it's absolutely pissed down. So
saved you a few quid.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Well, at least you had a better weekend than us. Although, or did you have? Yeah, you had a good weekend with a bad weekend.
I watched it on my phone, much to her bemusement. I watched it on my phone, and it wasn't great, was it?
No. Well, we'll get into that now. Obviously, what we've got coming up on this show, we're going to be breaking down the game at Villa Park. We're going to look into our next fixture after the international break, which is Leeds in the FA Cup, which I've got right here, lovely, next to me. Addy's seen it before. He's seen it in person. It's Billy Bonds and Trevor Brookin, signed by them. And then we are going to talk about our director of football. And then at the very end, we're going to discuss a very special song. So stick with us throughout this. If you haven't, hit subscribe, because we have changed our name. So if you're not wondering why you're not seeing Mr. Moon, we're a new name now. West Ham Updates TV. We're a TV channel now, boys.
There we are.
Yeah. Right, let's get into it. Villa Park. I went on Sunday. Oh, my God. So glad I went. I didn't have one beer. I got a coach up there, which actually was all right. I went with a good group of people, a load of kids with us and everything. It was great. What a ground Villa Park is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Proper
a proper
ground.
old... That's the type of ground the semis should still be in.
Yeah.
It really should be. I agree. I don't think any of us can doubt that. Do you know what's funny? When you get there, it feels big as well, Villa Park, but it's only 42,000 or something. Like it's actually smaller than Upton Park was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it does feel very big, very grand, doesn't it, Villa Park?
And it's all brick, isn't it, on the outside?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a proper ground. I love it.
Yeah.
It was so nice being there this week. Like, it really was nice. And actually, as we were even outside, I went to a chippy before. Villa fans come up to us and said, look, we hope you stay up. And it was all really nice. You know, like it was like before the game, we was talking about their team, our team, that everyone we spoke to was hoping Spurs goes down. So we're all in the same boat. But obviously, as we got there, the warm-up curse happened with Todibo getting injured, which obviously rocked our plans massively, you would think. What did you make of it? I want to ask you all, because obviously Todibo's out, which is a really bad sign. Would you have stuck Potts in? Would you have gone with someone else, or would you have kept the same shape and put Kilman in it, in that back line? I don't know. I wanted to see what you guys thought of that.
I personally don't want Kilman anywhere near the starting 11. I'm sorry, but I just feel the energy is completely different when he's in the squad, and I even think the rest of the players have got less belief. Personally, I might be wrong, but no, I wouldn't have put him in at all. I mean, I know I should get off the fence, but that's my answer.
But wouldn't you have said that was the same with Hamadson from the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, given his performances, I know he's dropped a couple of clangers over the weekend, but I'd still keep him in position because, you know, he's allowed a couple of he's been faultless the last few weeks, I think. So,
well, we're going to come to him in a minute, but it's with the Todibo. Would you boys, Mick and Ad, what would you have done in hindsight? Actually, we use in hindsight in the game, etc. However you want it.
Yeah, I mean, because we haven't played 5 at the back that much recently, and we've
No.
been playing quite well when we played 4 at the back. Obviously, when we play 4 at the back, that does include having Somerville going forward, and obviously we weren't going to have him available for this game. I think I probably would have changed the shape to 4 because we've been playing it well recently. But in hindsight, I think it would have made much more sense actually to probably have played Kilman and just play the way we've been, training and, getting ready, preparing for the game in that formation with Kilman. And I also think Kilman's not as bad in a 3 than, it's not as much a liability in a 3 than just in a 2. So in hindsight, it probably would have been just much simpler to slot Kilman in a left-sided centre half. But I probably would have gone with a 4 to begin with. However, I don't know who I would have put in instead of Tadiba.
What about you, Mick?
Personally, I would have either have gone straight in with Kilman and played the 5 across the back, or I probably would have said what Addy said, gone with a 4 at the back. I would have put Traore in and pushed Fernandes back into the middle of the park with Suchek. I can't understand why we're trying Traore because he just doesn't seem to get a look in, even when Somerville's injured. What was the point? That's what I would have done.
Well, I think that's actually a really good point. I've got to say, I don't think he's set the world alight at all, but I thought he was absolutely poor again, although he did offer us an outlet. But that first half, I think, was the poorest. It was up there, I think, with the Wolves' performance. And it was quite worrying, I thought, how bad it was. Other than Mavropanos, there was nobody that done anything.
Yeah, I agree.
And Mavropanos was absolutely outstanding.
Outstanding.
It was really a faultless performance, wasn't it?
Actually,
probably a better performance than he had against City.
Yeah,
he got a really good. He got a really good shout out today on TalkSport this morning. They had it was Ali McQuest and Andy Townsend. They had Kevin Nolan on there, and they said about that. Ali McQuest said about how good Mavropanos was and has been, and I think he's been superb. Mavropanos, he really has been.
And that's where you look at maybe Kilman could have got that same bit of luck. Because let's be honest, none of us wanted Mavropanos there, other than Addy. And maybe Kilman comes in, has a good game. It all starts to work a little bit good, like Hamadson did. And all of a sudden, it's all forgotten about what the beginning of the season. Obviously, the later in the game maybe changes it. But looking at hindsight, I think I would have probably gone Kilman. But I think if he had done it, we would have all sent a text to each other and moaned at that same time. So I'm using hindsight. Would I have done it? Only because we were so poor. Tati was awful. He just was offside. I don't think there was a time where he wasn't offside.
You'll see with Tati, because he lacks a bit of pace, he's always just trying to nick a yard, and he's just always offside.
And he wasn't the only one that was like awful. I thought Wan-Bissaka was arguably the worst player on the pitch. Yeah. It was so bad. He was so off it. Diouf, we all have them little bits about his defending. I just don't know why we haven't tried him at left wing. In the absence of Somerville. I've never understood it. It's like I've never understood how someone has never tried Trent Alexander-Arnold at right wing. I don't understand it. I just can't see how you can have the best crosser of a ball and not give him a game at right wing. It just, for me, it don't make sense. And it's when you're talking as well, they're not fantastic defenders. So it's sort of the obvious almost position for them. But it did improve. I'm glad the manager did change it in the second half. I'll give him his due. He did change it. But our bench is just so weak, isn't it?
Yeah. I was thinking that before, I was thinking typically managers start with their best 11 And then it might not be that the players on the bench are worse. They just bring something different.
Yeah.
Our team just gets progressively worse with any change that we make. There's no difference. It's just worse. It's just awful.
I did think we improved second half, and I actually thought that Wilson and Traore, when I come on, done all right. I thought Wilson was so much more effective. He didn't do loads, but much more effective than Tatty was. At least he was trying to hold it up and trying to link the play and stuff like that. And we come out better in the second half, but it was, for me, it was just so worrying how we was just obviously we had the late change to the lineup, but we were just all over the place. The midfield wasn't getting anywhere near their midfield, and we always lacked a bit of legs in midfield. But Villa's midfield, who are they having there? They had Barkley, McGinn, and Onana, who are not exactly the most dynamic midfielders in the world, getting up and down with pace and stuff. So I don't know why we was just nowhere near them. And then we just never ever looked like getting anywhere near their goal. Which
I
was
don't think we had a
so
shot, did we?
worrying. I think we had one shot, didn't we, in the whole game? One shot on target, I think, in the whole game.
Wow, I
That's
don't even
where
remember
I
it.
can't
I'll
actually
go
remember
back.
what that was.
That's where I'll go back though. Is you noticed you take Fernandes out of that midfield, and you have Suchek in there, and someone else has got no legs, and midfield is just completely non-existent. It's non-existent. And
Yeah.
I do like Suchek, but that's why I say if he was to go, okay, fair enough. But he needs to be in there with someone that's got legs. Because for 2 years prior to that, he had Rodriguez, he's had James Ward-Prowse, and our biggest problems for the last 2 years have been in midfield. We've now got Fernandes.
Well,
and that's why I was
Fernandes
so
did start
frustrated.
in a centre midfield, though, didn't he? He
I
did
think he
start in a
started
centre
out wide.
midfield. No, Pablo was out there originally, and it was like he was out on the left originally, and Fernandes was out there. But I've got to be honest with you, Fernandes was absolutely so off the pace, it was unreal. And we were front row actually, with me and my mate Tom, and it was so funny. We actually, it was very close, Villa Park, so you actually got a different perspective here, and we could see them almost touching distance. They were so off the pace, it was unreal. And the fans, that led into the fans not singing. The fans couldn't cheer. It was just all kind of just watching it, kind of going, "Oh, this is awful." Do
you think it was the result that everyone's disappointed with, or purely the performance? Because
I think it was the performance, Gal, to be honest with you. At half time, that was the conversation.
Yeah, because a couple of weeks ago, if we'd got nothing at home to Man City, but then got a point away at Villa, we'd probably all be buzzing because we'd think we got no right to beat City. A point away at Villa would have been a result, but obviously it went the other way. So we drew with City at home, we lost away to Villa. So, 1 point out of those 2 games,
Yeah.
it's probably more than we thought we would get.
Brilliant.
There.
Exactly. They're the 2 games that I had us down for losing. I think it was the manner in which we lost. And I think it was because it was, I think, reminiscent of the Wolves' performance.
And that's exactly it, Sam. That was a performance that we was churning out earlier in the season, and we thought we'd got past this. And it's just like, we thought we'd turn the corner, playing really well, and then it's like, hello, what is this? Because this was like really bad, and I think it's just worrying, isn't it? The fans just like, oh no.
The thing is, though,
Well, I think the biggest. Oh, go on. Sorry, Mick. After you. Go on.
You've got to expect some kind of poor performance in the games that we've had previous to that. There is going to be a kind of drop off at some point, and then a lift back again. Do you know what I mean? I think that's how we've always been anyway. There's always been that spurt of really good results, and then all of a sudden it just tires back a little bit to how it used to be, and then we go again.
I do agree, and I think it is remembering we're not a good side. It's kind of the wake-up call. We ain't a good side. And I think nothing summed it up more than McGinn's goal. That first goal was absolutely pathetic. Like we were stood directly in line with McGinn, and you could see what was going on. You had even fans shouting, McGinn, McGinn, like that. You could see what was going to happen. The ball came in, goes out, comes over across to McGinn. Great finish, to be honest with you. Like, he hits it beautifully on the curl. And I saw I watched Claret and Booze coming back, and I don't want to dig him out, but he hates the manager. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, and he also hates Madsen, and he blamed him for that first goal. And I don't agree with that. I just think he was completely blindsided and didn't get it. I don't think it was the goalkeeper's fault for me. Now,
Good finish.
but he should never have been able to have that finish. A complete free hit. It's outrageous. And then obviously we go to the second half. Obviously the keeper does make an absolute howler, but also so does Diouf. If you watch the follow-up, it's absolutely pathetic. He just switches off completely, and Watkins slides in.
He had 2 players there, and they had 1, and he was just hungrier for the rebound, weren't he?
Now, to play devil's advocate and give Diouf his due, you are expecting your keeper to be saving that. And I think that's probably what did happen.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, but I think we've got to just going back to the bad performance. I think got to give Villa credit. I thought they were very good. I know we were poor, but I thought Villa were very good. They seemed to be able to pass and move and creating space, creating chances. Just the movement was so good.
That's getting the captain back in.
It's just, it made a huge difference.
And Tielemans coming on, like they got all their players that they were missing back.
They look, and even like players like Sancho, I thought had a really good game. And
he did
sticking the place out all season, didn't he? But what I was going to say is, I think teams do have off days now and again. I remember, obviously when we played Newcastle earlier in the season, I thought they were really, really average against us, and Sunderland as well when they played us, because they'd had a good season. I think Newcastle won their next home game after us. They beat Man City 2-1, and I think Sunderland they only played Burnley, but they won that 3-0 at home in their next home game as well. So I think teams do have these off days, and we've just got to hope that Villa had a really good day. We weren't at it, and we bounced back, but it was quite alarming. I think West Ham fans, but then again, I think it's come at the best time. It's a game we weren't expected to win.
You're right.
We played poorly, and
you'd rather do that against them than Wolves.
Yeah,
exactly.
It might have been the kick up the arse that we need a little bit. Listen, boys, we ain't superstars. Don't start thinking you are again. You're pretty shit, actually. We got to go back to hard work. You can't do this with footballing skills because you ain't good enough.
No,
and
exactly.
Bowen again, also very off the pace. He was poor, really, but everyone was. I even thought Disassi was very poor for his first time. Average. He was out of position a lot. Again, where we were standing so close to it, and we were sort of on their line all the time. He was out of position all the time.
I think it does come. I think it does come with as well, though, that the change is obviously really mucks around with the team, because they've obviously trained that way for the last couple, because they played what they played back against City, and they was going to obviously play it again. So I think they've trained for that all for the last couple of weeks, and then that changed right at the last minute. And you do see it when players do come out of a side in the warm-up. They start really sluggishly. No one really knows where they're meant to be at that particular time. And it goes to the point what Sam was saying about Disasmi being out of position a lot. Well, he was used to having another centre-half right next to him that could come over if he went into the middle, if you know what I mean. So I do think it had a massive knock-on effect, that change.
I do as well, and I've got to be honest with you, and I hate saying it, but Freddie Potts just ain't good enough. We all want him to be good enough because of his surname. But if his surname wasn't Potts, there's no way. In actual fact, I'd say he's a similar level to Andy Irvine. And I don't like saying that because I like our youth, and it's horrible killing our own kids. And maybe with more game time, etc., he'd get better. But what I saw from Kante against Brentford, he was a much better player.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't understand why he didn't start.
Yeah,
if you're going to change that, I would have. If you're going to put him in, I would have rather have seen Kante, someone with legs and has got some power behind him and can drive with the ball. Potts don't drive with the ball. Souček don't drive with the ball. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm digging out Potts, then I'm also going to dig out Magassa. I think he's one of the worst players I think I've ever seen at West Ham. We said it for a long time. I know he had that game against Man United.
That was it, though, wasn't it?
He is absolutely clueless, useless, gives away the ball every time. He's in the wrong sides every time. He is absolutely one of the worst players I've ever seen at West Ham. Absolute fucking dog shit. Let's just hope we can get rid of him in the summer. Useless, isn't he?
So poor.
Brentford was bad enough. Like, do you know what? A geezer who I was sitting with, Tom, he went to me, surely he saw him come on against Brentford. He stunk the whole place out, gave the ball away every time he touched it, nearly cost us the game. He's brought him on again.
Yeah.
So that's where you look at this manager and just think, but then I do kind of sympathise with him because who else has he got? But, as you say, Mick, he fought tooth and nail for Traore.
Yep.
He just don't look like a footballer to me. He looks so out of shape.
Yeah, he never has.
He actually looks ridiculous when you look at him. Like when you see him up close, like a marshmallow running around. Like, but he just, I don't know. The crosses that he done the other day were absolutely pathetic. Couldn't cross the ball.
All he's ever had is just pace. That's all he's ever had is just the pace and that strength.
And his directness did work better because he did get somewhere, but he ain't good enough. He's not good enough. He's a championship player. Maybe good enough for us in the championship.
As either Sterling to have come in, because I'm not saying you'd get 90 minutes out of Sterling, but I think you'd get maybe 20 minutes, half hour for the rest, but you'd get a better 20 minutes, half hour out.
Well, real quality. He's got real quality.
Or I probably would have gone with, because I did hear, but Lingard. I would have rather have seen Lingard come back than Traore.
Not now, I wouldn't.
I just think you get
he's so far gone, but maybe he would have been better.
Get that little bit of quality. Traore's just been a complete and utter waste.
Yeah, I don't think Lingard's going to be any worse than Traore, is he?
Yeah.
No, well, we're leaving that there and moving on to this beauty that is next to me. The FA Cup. So obviously we've got the dreaded international break, but for us, actually, is it the dreaded international break? I think actually it's come at the right time. We've got 2 key players injured. And then up next on the 5th is the quarterfinal versus Leeds. Obviously, Leeds are our direct relegation rivals. Is this a big sort of mental game as well to beat them in this? Or where do you think we are? Do you think we want to go through in this? Do you think it's an unnecessary distraction if we go through in it? What do you guys? Where are you feeling on this game?
I think, right, I've been a bit like a pendulum, really, swinging one way or another in terms of if we're going to stay up or not. And I think, obviously, because of the way we lost at the weekend, I'm thinking we're probably going to go down. So I'm thinking, well, a semi-final at Wembley. So, yeah, I do want to go for it because I think we've run out of road and we're going to go down anyway. So if we can get a little bit of joy in an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley and a nice day out for everybody, I'll take that at the moment. So, yeah, I'd go shit or bust, to be honest.
What about you, boys?
Go on, Ed.
Oh, you know what? So before the Brentford game, I was saying that we couldn't risk. Well, we shouldn't have risked Somerville, Bowen for that game, because staying up was just far more important than the FA Cup. Having said that, we won that game. Obviously, Somerville did get a knock, which is a bit of a nightmare. But we won it. We're in a quarterfinal. We're at home in a quarterfinal, and I just think it would be criminal. It'd be absolutely criminal not to go for it. But really, I don't think we should, to be honest, because we cannot risk getting injuries. But it's as if we've got to now. It's like you have to now. You're at home in a quarterfinal. You have to go for it. But yeah, I don't think we should risk those players.
What do you think, Mick?
I've always said it, and I will always stick by it. Winning it just creates a good atmosphere. If you go and win that game, it gives you the momentum going into your next game. It's all about momentum, and I've said that since January. It's just keep churning out, getting the little points, even if it is a point, just keep getting them. But getting into a semi-final, I think will be massive for the confidence, just everywhere around the club, fans, players, management. I just think, and it just breeds winning mentality, winning games. Just keeps the confidence up. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, Mick. I think I'm at the point now. Well, what will be will be. So if you get injured, it's probably meant to happen. And I think I would like to see us go it. Obviously, the weekend was a big relegation game at the Spurs versus Forest, and they ended up losing it. Now, I said before the game, my biggest fear was that that Forest won. And they spanked Spurs absolutely 3-0. How do you think that sets it all up? Are you still, like, I think you and Miad were completely aligned. We usually are, actually, with football, but we just feel that Spurs will get out of this. Are you still as certain?
Well, after that, absolutely not. But yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not as certain now. And I do. I think last week I said it was probably out of us and Forest. I think I probably flip flopped a little bit, and it's probably out of us and Spurs.
And that will change over these weeks coming up. That is going to keep changing, I think.
Yeah. I think they'll get some players back, won't they, Spurs? And
do you know what? It's funny. I was talking to my brother-in-law Jay today, and he said, "Sam, our players are back." He said, "We're only missing Kudos."
Yep.
And I was like, he said Maddison and Kulusevski ain't coming back this season. He said, so we're only missing Kudos. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of thinking Maddison, Kulusevski, like all them coming back. But he said they're not coming back this season. So I don't know. I think the big thing is going to be, and I think they got out of it today, sadly for obviously Tudor and us, is obviously his father's passed away. And if I had to bet today, I think they're probably both sitting down, working out a way. So how can we sack a geezer that's just lost his father in an amicable way? Because I think if his father hadn't passed away, I think they would have probably moved him on. And I'm just seeing it in the paper, there's a geezer called Adolf Hitler.
I saw it. I saw that.
Adolf Hitler. You surely, if you're Spurs as a club, just couldn't hire that man just because of his name. No. Because if Adolf Hitler takes Spurs down, he's possibly the greatest man ever to have walked this earth, and you probably don't want to be praising the geezer called Adolf Hitler. Yeah. I don't know.
No. Tim Sherwood's pretty confident if you watch...
Sky Sports. He wants it, doesn't he? Well, he ain't, because no one wants... I hope he gets that job, because I think that prick sends him down, I've got to be honest with you.
He's so arrogant. I can't stand him. He thinks he's the best at everything, and what's he do at Villa? Got them relegated, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't do much else at Spurs when he was there the last time, even with Harry Kane. And the best players.
I know.
He had them all there, like when they was all younger, and he done nothing with them then. He's so arrogant, the geezer.
Well, he took over from Pochettino, didn't he? Or Villa-Boas?
Villa-Boas.
Can't remember. Yeah, Villa-Boas maybe, yeah. It's because Villa-Boas took over from Poch, didn't he? But it does...
Sorry,
go on.
I just cannot imagine Spurs going down. I know they're bad, and I know their form's not as good as ours. But it's just unthinkable, isn't it?
Do you think Spurs, in their position, has taken a bit of like our doom and gloom off of us at the minute?
Yeah.
I do as well. Because I'm not actually that bothered that we lost this week.
No, I'm not either.
They lost.
Like, it's weird. If you watch the show, you know that I'd be fucking usually going mad now, and I'm not. I expected us to lose that game against Villa.
I wanted Spurs to lose the weekend. I did. I wanted to.
I
don't think they can happen.
I didn't.
And you said, Mick said it for a long time as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite believe it, but that result really brings it home that they are in big
trouble.
Because the game's running out for them, and they haven't won a game this year. Like, they're not even close to winning a game this year, and the games are running. Where are they getting their wins from?
In January, if we had thought we were in touching distance still of the people above us, I think we'd have been happy because there was a gap growing, wasn't there? But now we're in touching distance. In
They was
touching
10 points in
distance of
front of us.
Spurs.
They was 10
Yeah.
points in front of us. And I said it, even with the 10 points, they will fall.
You did,
They
you
will
did,
keep
you did.
falling.
Did say
They've not got the fire.
I think it'll go. Yeah.
I did not see it.
I still think it will go down to the last day.
You've said that the whole way, Gal, as well, haven't you? And it's I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it. I've just had this feeling that we're out of it. You know what? It's really weird. I don't know
I
why.
agree with you. I think we are.
But I don't know. I think it might be a very full sense, like I'm thinking Spurs. They'll just get out of it, and that is based on nothing that my eyes are telling me, other than, well, it's Spurs. They can't go down. They've never been down. You know, I think that is really what I'm basing it on.
70s, I think they did.
Yeah, but I mean, in like our lifetime, and obviously.
You're talking about in the Premier League, ain't you, Sam? They've never been relegated in the Premier League.
Well, obviously, for us, it's the best fucking year of our life. If we stay up and Spurs go down, that is it.
Final.
Forget the cup, man. Forget the cup.
Yeah, just if that happens, it's the ultimate bragging rights, isn't it? But is it us that's going to be the old whipping boys as usual and be everyone laughing at?
Do you think? I mean, I think now that 3 games. I mean, 3 games is quite a lot. It's like winning every other game. Will keep us up. Do you see Spurs winning 3 games out of their last 7?
Don't know. I still think 4. I still think 3 and a draw, or 3 and 2 draws is what you need, or 4 wins. I really think is what.
I think 3 wins and a draw were safe.
That's 39 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
But with 3 wins, Tottenham need to win 3 games as well.
Yep, I can't see them.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to win 3 out of their last 7 games?
Or Forest, like they've got.
You
Leeds have got a big say in this running, because they've got to play all Wolves, Burnley, West Ham, and Spurs. I think they've got to play all of it. Leeds could be our saviour. If they beat Spurs and we beat Leeds, that could literally just be it. Or they might draw to Spurs and beat us, and that could be it as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, Leeds are going to be the biggest say in this title race, I think. But yeah, it has hotted up, definitely. I just want to say as well, West Ham fans, if you're watching and you're ever thinking about going out to cheer our team bus in like the Spurs fan did, please do never come back to our club ever again. That was the most sickening thing I think I've ever seen in modern day. Actually, next to the France squad arriving for training every time they go to France.
I can't stand it.
Mate, I cannot stand it. Honestly, if that was our national team, I'd be absolutely disgusted. Load of absolute benders turning up for fucking training with handbags and like I've never seen that. For me, football is absolutely over.
Addy walks around like that in Dublin. That's why he's over there. He gets away with it.
But Addy can. He's not going on international duty. I just cannot believe it. Football is so boring. And then that just sums it all up for me. But like that cheering a team bus. See how many of them there was out? And Mick's on a group with me with them Spurs fans. They tried to deny it happened as well, didn't they? No, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Your whole ground was outside cheering with flares and flags. It was like, I said, like Newport going to the cup final.
Yeah, it was like a parade. It's like a cup parade or something.
Going
like that.
down parade. That's what it is.
Absolutely amazing.
Go and cheer the team, guys. Oh, mate, I've never seen anything like it. I just wanted that bus to blow up and just get rid of them all. The absolute rubbish. Maybe if Adolf Hitler was driving it, it would have. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Laughing at Spurs.
The
right.
gift that keeps giving.
Yeah. Me and Addy touched on this last week. The Boardroom, Steiden's successor. There's rumours are heating up regarding Max Hands, who is an internal data expert, and Dan Ashworth, to be taken over on our sporting director. Now, I haven't seen much of this at all. I've seen very little of it. Have any of you seen any of this?
Wasn't he at United for a while and then went to Newcastle or something?
Yeah.
No,
He was the one that they actually put on gardening leave, didn't they? And it was Newcastle and then... and who was he before Newcastle? Was he Brighton? Dan Ashworth.
No, I think is it Paul Barber? Is at Brighton, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Dan Ashworth was before.
He used to be involved with all the England setup, Dan Ashworth.
England, that's where he was. That's exactly where he was. Yes. That's what I'm thinking, Mick.
I just don't understand. There's no point having a sporting director with a plan if the board aren't going to back him anyway.
Well, this is our point. Yeah, but also the players that Tim Steidten brought in as well were pretty bad. Although, were they? Tadebo's come good. Somerville's come good.
Some of the names some of the players that Sunderland signed was what Tim wanted. He wanted John Duran as well. They didn't.
Well, this is the problem with West Ham and a sporting director. I think we'll all agree we would love a sporting director.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense of someone having an outline of the club, having a way we play. If we get rid of this manager, we go straight into that same way we play again.
Yep.
So it doesn't change. We're not flip-flopping styles. But who will be making the decisions? Who will be signing the players? Who will be agents used? And that's...
If we go down, there's no sporting director coming, is there?
No, I don't.
No, also, I think it's you're looking at, even if we stay up, they've already put the noise out there that we've got to have mass sales. So
I'll tell you what frustrates me when I watch social media is they go, West Ham are interested in, and I'm thinking,
every day.
Who's putting all this crap out? We don't know where we're going to be. Like, we don't know who the manager's going to be. And you start thinking, how are we interested? It's like garbage. People just make it up.
In fairness, though, you have got to have plans for staying up and plans for if you go down. Otherwise, it's just...
but just random players being linked.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a lot of it is just clickbait, to be honest with you, isn't it? It's just it is literally just clickbaits to sell advertising. Yeah. And he knows all about that. He's an advertising man. It's like... He's Mr. Clickbait himself. Man. So would we? So I suppose are we all feeling the same on the sporting director?
Yeah, I think we need one.
But is it a waste of time? Is that what? Like, is that?
Yeah.
That's it. It's
will it be actually get a go
under Sullivan? Because he just will not.
Yeah. The principle of sporting director is absolutely right, but it needs to be done properly. So it needs to be done with a certain mandate, publicise that mandate, and then everyone can get behind it. But at the moment, it's just because it's a fashionable thing to do. So
I'll go back years ago to Southampton. That's exactly how a sporting director works. He's the man that employs your managers, sacks the managers, brings the players in, or coaches, not managers, sorry, but they're all very similar to the last coach. So it come from their youth all the way through up to the first team. So when the youth come through, when they go in that first team, they know exactly what is expected of them. Whereas at West Ham, they don't know what's expected of them. They ain't got a clue. They haven't got. That's why they look so out of depth of how West Ham play and how we are. And that's exactly how it should be. A sporting director comes in and has the say on absolutely everything. And that's what Sullivan said was going to happen when Tim Steidten come in. He was going to be the one that was hiring and sacking coaches. He's the one that's going to bring in the players. He's going to have the final say on absolutely everything. And then 2 weeks later, you've got Lopetegui signing players, Tim signing players, Sullivan signing players. It's just never going to work, is it?
Never going to work. No business could work like that. It's as simple as that. Go just quickly, something that Joe Cole told me. His boys at Brentford, and they start with tactics in the youth team at his boys' age, which is like under 10s or something. And then if it goes well, they move it up to like the 15s. If it goes well again, like a pattern of play, for example, they move it to the 18s, 21s, then the first team. So it starts there. which is
Yeah.
quite incredible, actually. So they do it that way round. So it's always the bottom of the club's always building the top, which actually is how grassroots work. So it's kind of, but brilliant, like idea that how you training your kids are always training the way that the first team is going to play in all them years' time, which that it just makes sense, doesn't it? It just makes it easier, doesn't it?
Yep, everyone
And
knows
less costly.
exactly where they are. Yeah.
And there'll be years where you don't work. Before, I did have a bit of a smile on my face this week. That Everton battered Chelsea, and Mr. Moyes has taken another team, and I will say, a team that is absolutely not riddled with stars.
No.
None. It was a team that's nearly gone down a few times, with still mainly the same players in it, and he's got them up to the European spots.
Yeah.
And is it finally time to say we got it wrong?
I'll still say we got it. We got it right, but we got it wrong with who we appointed afterwards. Because you'll see it again. Unfortunately for Moyes, and it's happened at Everton the first time round, he has a shelf life. As soon as he gets to that shelf life, it starts petering away, and they start falling back off again. And I like.
Or
I
is
do
it,
really
Mick?
like Moyes.
Or is it, Mick, that team was just spent because of what it did, and it just needed a little bit of patience for a
freshening up.
rebuild?
Yeah, it did.
And that was he the right man to keep going?
Yeah.
I think we massively got it wrong. I think we didn't. We didn't. No, and I think me and Addy, we said at the time he had to go because it got so toxic. Like it ran its course. But I am so happy for him that it's going well.
Yeah,
when I went back to West Ham, I would think, "Fuck you lot," like, and I think a lot of our fan base are playing. Yeah.
I was going to say, Gal. I was going to say, I'm not. Yes, I think it's second from last.
Well, I was actually looking at. No, it's in this next group of Wolves, Palace, Brentford, Everton.
Oh, is
it's
it?
now.
April.
It's our must-win period. It's them games that we need to get the results from, and he's one of them.
If we beat Wolves, Leeds, and Everton, maybe.
Oh no! If we beat them, Wolves, leave Everton, I think it's done pretty much. But you got Palace in there, and you got Brentford. But I don't think beating Everton might be as easy as we think.
No.
Oh no, and Everton a bit one of the best teams away from home. I watched the game against Chelsea, and they were absolutely brilliant.
They battered them, didn't they?
Obviously, like you said, no real superstars, but the way they played as a team, they were all over Chelsea.
Was it Beto that scored that beautiful finish? What a finish that was!
Most of the seasons. 2 good goals. I was going to say, even if we do, I mean, we may struggle against it, but I think Tottenham have got on last game of the season as well, haven't they?
They are.
Which could be to get into Europe, which is could be a massive game for Everton.
But Moyes could do West Ham one last.
There's one thing I will say for Moyes though: he never ever slags the club off. He never slags the fans off. He always talks so highly of West Ham.
Well, I think that's a bit about the man himself, but I also think West Ham have them under massive NDAs, because when have you ever heard anybody speak about the regime?
Bilic has started to.
Has he?
He puts in his not every time he speaks about West Ham, but there's things he says. Sam Allardyce has done it. It's not bad, but Allardyce was the first man to come out and say, Sullivan just used to turn up to the training ground and say, "Here's a present for you. Here's a surprise."
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it was just a player that just turned up out of nowhere. So they don't dig as such, but they're putting it out there that, this is what happens.
I think that's the stamp of Moyes, though. I think he is a very classy man. I think that's never disputed with him, to be honest with you, is it? But, yeah, I did have a bit of a smile on my face for David Moyes at the weekend. I thought, yeah, you've proved us wrong again. And I think I think Everton will probably go down that same route of thinking we're better than you now, and actually realise who you are. And I want to finish on a very important topic. So I asked a question on Instagram earlier. Why has West Ham not got a Bobby Moore song? Like, the absolute figurehead of our club, and in a time where we're losing traditions all over the place. And every one of us was taught the legend of Bobby Moore because none of us were alive when he played. So all of us were taught that traditions. We've all probably bought our kids shirts with a 6 on it because of that. There was a geezer sitting next to me with more 6 on a brand new West Ham shirt. You still do see it over West Ham a lot with the older people. And kids, you always see them with a 6 on their name or whatever like that. So, in it weird, we have never had, I know there has been a Viva Bobby Moore because our viewership is very, very old on this channel. But I know there was a Viva Bobby Moore song. But should something like that, should we make a Bobby Moore song and should it be sung every week? Like Ludek McCloskey?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, even Billy
of
Bonds.
course.
Oh, even Billy Bonds' song started to come back, hasn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? When you think of that, right, we do them. Trevor Brookings, another one. You never heard a song of. I've gone West Ham my whole life. Never heard a Trevor Brookings song.
No, never.
And I've only heard that Bobby Moore song probably 3 times in my life. And that to the point of I don't even know the tune of how it goes. So but wouldn't it be great on the 6th minute of every game you sung that? Like to keep a tradition alive. I just thought of it the other day and I thought, you know what? We all want the old traditions, but it's up to us to teach them like our dads, granddads taught us. We're the ones not doing it now. So we're trying to start a campaign now. Someone actually said an idea on Instagram and they said, to the tune of Daddy Cool, Bobby Moore, Bobby. And so I thought, do you know what I actually thought is pretty good? It does actually go. But I think that there should be a significant song for Bobby Moore. You know, like a proper,
Task for
like
you,
a Ludek McCloskey. So I want people to start thinking.
You find one.
Start
and put it on the
thinking,
intro.
comment.
Put it on the
Yeah,
intro
we
for
need one. Yeah. I do like that Daddy Cool Bobby Moore, though. I think it was quite a good... and you could hear how it could just keep going, couldn't it? But it almost needs something, not like North London Forever or I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, but a charm. Someone else said Bobby Moore's Claret and Blue Army is another one, which... yeah, I get it, but I think that should always be reserved for the manager. But
that'll always be Billy Bonds for me, that.
I've not heard many
That
managers
Villa
in
Park,
recent
that's
years
always
that have had that, though, you know.
David
I've not
Moyes.
seen many managers. Was it Moyes? I think Bilic got it as well.
Moyes, the only song that had his own song, didn't he? Still one of my favourite ever songs as well. We've got Super David Moyes. Great song, wasn't it?
Amazing. It was great.
I actually like it when we have a manager song. Because for years we took it out, didn't we? And started doing We Are West Ham's Claret and Blue Army. To let them know that we don't support the manager. That's kind of a defiant song, isn't it? Like, Pardew had it a little bit and then we took it out for him, didn't we? And then it never came back for years. Allardyce never got it.
Did Slav have one?
Slav had Super Slav, didn't he? Super Slav.
Yeah.
He had that from his playing days, didn't he? Yeah. But yeah, Moyes was the last manager that really had it. Before that was Redknapp, I think. Harry Redknapp's Claret and Blue Army. And even Harry Redknapp's having a party, wasn't it?
Our next manager will get it because I reckon our next manager is going to be Scotty Parker. Personally, I think that's who it'll be. So I think you'll get a song, but I reckon that's who will be our next manager.
Do you know what? I'll be completely honest, right? I wouldn't be against having Parker and you might disagree with me here, and I think me saying it, I think you already know who I'm going to say. I wouldn't be a Frank.
Mick, I'm with you 100%. I'm 100% with you, Frank.
He won't.
Yeah, I
he
would.
won't. He's not going to give up Cov, though, is he? Let's have it right.
Not at the moment. I think Frank will be very interested at some point in West Ham if it could all be put to bed. I've actually spoken to him about it.
Yeah, I do still think he has got that little bit of love for the club. No
People
matter what
forget,
happens.
Frank. So I spoke with Frank at Wembley, right, at Oasis. I want to just put this out there. Frank Lampard was born into West Ham royalty. Well, Frank Lampard is still an absolute West Ham fan, right? It's the same as any three of us growing up, supporting West Ham. We still love West Ham. Things got bad in the middle. From both sides. I'm not saying we weren't wrong on all. Like, all of us.
Agree on that.
And he bit on it, and we bit back, and he bit back, and we bit back, and it all went terrible. And I actually think it's really, really sad for his dad, his family, that it's come to where it is. But I do think enough time has passed now where our age, because it was our age, has got older now. And we've all kind of gone, yeah, okay, let's move on. Frank actually done pretty good for West Ham, and his dad done even better.
Yeah.
The only time I think they showed him that little bit more of respect was, do you remember when his mum died? And I think it was really close to when we played Chelsea. And Upton Park sung his name and clapped him and all that. And I do genuinely think I would never be against him coming back and managing us, because I think he's a good manager.
I genuinely believe him or someone like him is exactly what our club needs to preserve our traditions, because I think that's who we are. As I'm saying, Bobby Moore, Billy Bonds, Trevor Brooking,
Frank Lampard.
that is who we are built on. And I think we've lost it. I noticed it at Villa Park this week. We said, I didn't know the people there anymore. I don't recognise the faces as much. I do still see some. It's changed. It's changing. I know there's a lot of younger kids, but they're not my mates' kids. You know, like they're new people that I'm never really seeing. And that's not a dig at these people at all. But our club was built on tradition. That is who we are. That's who we all grew up loving. Hearing the old stories, almost like Uncle Albert, isn't it? Like when the war, you know, like, and that's what we grew up on. And I think we need to preserve that before it's too late and we completely lose who we are. And leaving Upton Park was part of that.
Yeah.
And I do agree with Frank. I know some people will say you're off your head, but them same people will go and say we need to be signing Thomas Tuchel as manager. You know, like, so it's, I take their footballing intellect with a pinch of salt. And it's because they'll say that they're the same people that hounded Moyes out the door. So I just think we do need someone who's West Ham. You're a cunt, Nick, that's why.
Is it worth a quick mention if we're talking about old players who left under a bit of a cloud? Mr. Pyatt retired at the weekend.
Magician, absolute magician.
My favourite. Will always be my favourite.
Me too, Ad. Listen, Declan Rice is probably the best player I've ever seen in total at West Ham in my lifetime. But that man there, Gal.
Mate, he was outstanding.
I think he's the most exciting. He's above Di Canio for me, how exciting it was.
Yeah.
And who did I love more? Di Canio.
Yeah.
But Pyatt, who done stuff that nobody else could do, was him.
Yeah.
And also the greatest song that everyone else nicked off of us.
Yeah.
Everyone nicked that song off us. Oh, Villa are massive everywhere. Like, when I hear it, Shut up, you fucking tools.
Terrible.
I'd be so embarrassed to be stealing songs off people, you know, like it's
Well, especially that
We-
one.
we did
especially
steal
that
It's like
one.
Arsenal, they steal every song going. They even do ole, ole, ole. Like, it's
We
like,
did
oh,
steal Villa's
shut
kit,
up.
though.
Yeah, we did. It is
Well, we
funny how
borrowed it.
this is a slightly different shade of claret, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
You can notice it a million miles off, can't you?
Yeah, you can, yeah. Yeah.
The
We borrowed their kit. That's how we got Claret and Blue, because we borrowed their kit all the way back in the early, I think it was the early 1900s. We borrowed their kit. And that's how we become Claret and Blue.
I never knew that. Never knew
Yeah.
that. We are
Every day's
finishing it
a
up there. Obviously, we have got an international break. We'll still be here next Tuesday because I think we'll do a bit of an FA Cup review and maybe we'll even review England. How that's gone. Because
Have we got any players there? Have we got any players?
Bowen,
Oh,
He's there, isn't he? Okay.
yeah.
Bowen, our only
Whether he
one.
plays or not.
No, but it'd be
Let's hope
quite
he don't- let's hope he
interesting. It'd be quite interesting, I think, to go into the England squad going into the World Cup because I think there's some big omissions and some players that I think shouldn't be anywhere near that squad. But I think that'd be quite interesting to keep everyone a bit up to date while we're on international breaks. We can't keep going on about an FA Cup result and how's it going to go. Because I can't imagine with no football this week, we're going to flip-flop that much. I hope everyone has a lovely week. Make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you're following the right channel now. West Ham Updates TV. Mr. Moon has left the building. Come on, you Irons.
Come, you Irons.